According to a report by Redfin, as of the third quarter 2021, a record-breaking 18% of homes across the US were purchased by investors. Think about that. Nearly 1 in 5 purchases nationwide were investors. That's up from 11% from 1 year ago, making it the second greatest annual gain ever recorded. And check this out. A whopping 77% of these investors paid all cash. That means with these cash-rich investors taking the housing market by storm, now is the opportunity of a lifetime for wholesalers. On today's video, find out why so many investors are buying houses and 3 ways to cash in, bringing them deals, coming up.
This video is brought to you by 10K Club, a program that pays you $10,000 for finding ugly houses. Learn more at my10kcheck.com.
If you're new here, I'm Jerry Norton. I make millions of dollars a year wholesaling and flipping houses. And here on my YouTube channel, I show you how to do the same. So if you want to be a flipping genius like me and live your dream life, subscribe to my channel and watch my videos. If you don't know, a real estate wholesaler makes money by finding discounted properties for investors. And like I said, right now, there has never been so many investors purchasing residential real estate. Just in the third quarter of 2021, investors bought 90,215 homes, which is a staggering 80.2% increase year over year, making it the second greatest annual gain ever recorded. Investors are hungry for deals, which means you have an opportunity to find and bring them deals. And since I'm not allowed to say how much you can make wholesaling houses, for sure, you can't make $5,000 or $10,000. That's totally unheard of and not realistic at all. And there's no way you could do just 2 deals a month and make $250,000 a year. Not a chance. And it's not even an option for you to become a flipping genius like me and start with nothing, become a multimillionaire, grow a full head of hair, have 10 kids, and live life on your terms. That's not even fathomable. Now, having said that, if you still want to wholesale houses, let's take a look at why so many investors are buying real estate right now. Since the pandemic, a unique dynamic has taken place where a huge shortage of homes has caused prices to soar. The median home sales price rose 14% year over year. This increase in home prices has prevented many Americans from becoming buyers, forcing them to be renters instead. This in turn has created a strong rental demand and consequently higher rental rates. The average monthly rent rose 11% year over year. So think about real estate from an investor's vantage point. You have strong rental demand, double-digit appreciation. Don't forget the non-cash tax depreciation benefits of owning rentals. And then on top of that, throw in record high inflation, devaluing the dollar, and all of a sudden, parking your cash in rental real estate becomes a very wise investment. And when it comes to residential real estate, single family is where it's happening. The number of single family homes purchased by investors hit a new high at 74% of all investor purchases. Condos made up 17%, townhouses were 5%, and 2 to 4 units only made up about 3.5%. So wholesalers and aspiring wholesalers, listen up. There is a motivated cash buyer with an insatiable appetite for single-family rental properties in the marketplace right now, and they will buy everything you find and bring them. So if you're sitting the sidelines and still learning, or if you've been stuck in the dabbling stage, it's time to take action and get in the game. Never before since people started living in houses has there been a better time, and if you don't do this, you're only going to look back on this time with regret. And the best way to make it happen now is to get my deal management system called Flipster. If you've never heard of Flipster, it's a cloud-based, all-inclusive system to help you organize, streamline, and automate all of the steps to wholesaling and flipping houses, including on-market and off-market leads, and all of the tools to find and convert those leads into deals. Now, to learn more about Flipster and see it in action, just go to getflipster.com. Now, since buy and hold investors have a different strategy and a different buy criteria than fix and flippers, you need to find and source deals differently for buy and hold investors than you do for fix and flippers. The best way to do that is to look at deals from their perspective. Put yourself in their shoes. Understand how they evaluate deals. The better you understand a buy and hold investor, the better you will be at bringing them winning deals. So let me share with you 3 tips to help you source and find deals that they will want to buy from you. Tip number 1 is to understand cash flow. Unlike flippers, where the after repair value is what drives the buy criteria, buy and holders care more about cash flow than value. When evaluating deals, buy and hold investors primarily base their buy criteria on how much the property will rent for and how much net operating income or cash flow they can earn after expenses. It's all about the return on investment, or ROI. As a wholesaler, you need to learn how to calculate net operating income, which is how much cash flow is left after taxes, insurance, property management, vacancy, and maintenance and repairs. Learn what the potential rents are in the neighborhoods where you farm for leads. When you get a potential deal to wholesale, find out the going rental rate based on that particular house. If it's a 3-bedroom on a basement with a garage, what will it rent for in that neighborhood, and how will that impact a buy and hold investor's buy formula? For example, let's say that you're looking at a deal and most of the homes in the area are 3-bedroom homes that rent for $1,200 a month. And while talking to a motivated seller lead, you find out his home has a 4th bedroom, and 4-bedroom homes rent for $1,600 a month instead of $1,200 a month. Well, because of that extra rental income, a buy and hold investor may pay tens of thousands of dollars more for that property. So as a wholesaler, knowing that will help you when analyzing deals and making offers. Tip number 2 when evaluating deals to wholesale to buy and hold investors is to factor a lower estimated cost of repairs than you would for a fix and flip deal. A buy and hold investor is not going to spend the same money making improvements as a flipper. Most buy and hold investors are going to do just what's necessary to rent the property and nothing more. For example, I recently wholesaled a house built in the 90s, and everything was original from when it was built, but it was functional and well maintained. It was just dated and old. As a fix and flip, I budgeted $40,000 to replace and update everything, but then we ended up wholesaling it to a landlord who told me he wasn't gonna do much at all since it was already in rent-ready condition. As a general rule of thumb, the lower in value the property, the less repairs the landlord will do. And finally, tip number 3 when wholesaling to buy and hold investors is to specifically and strategically find and wholesale to hedge fund investors. Because single-family rentals are such a hot investment right now, hedge fund buyers have become very popular. A hedge fund is pooled money, usually from accredited investors, and then the fund buys and rents properties for cash flow and pays out returns to its investors. What's great about hedge fund buyers is they typically pay more than your mom and pop buy and hold investors, so you can get a premium wholesale fee, and they often like working with wholesalers, and since they buy a lot of properties, they can be a great source of repeat business. Now, a few challenges with hedge fund buyers is they typically want fairly clean properties. They aren't too excited about doing extensive rehabs, and they prefer rent-ready properties, or at the most, carpet and paint type properties. Also, hedge fund buyers are not very fast. Plan on 30 days to close, and they will probably have an inspection done. But given all of that, they are great buyers for your livable condition, rent-ready properties. And since I can read your mind, Jerry, where the heck do I find hedge fund buyers? Let me show you. Go to the site ushedgefunds.com. You'll see a list of states, choose your state, and you'll see a list of active hedge funds in that state, and then look for hedge funds in your area. Now keep in mind, just because their address is not in your area doesn't mean that they don't buy properties in your area. The tricky part is finding and talking to the right person. Be persistent, fill out the online forms, call the phone numbers, heck, show up at their offices. Some of these hedge funds are buying hundreds of properties and could be a huge golden cash buyer for you. When you do get a hold of a decision maker at the hedge fund, find out their buy criteria, the types of homes they purchase, the areas they target, what they stay away from, how long they need to close, and so on. Get as much information as you can, but whatever you do, don't bring them a deal outside of their parameters. You may only have one shot to get in the door, so don't blow it. And don't make the mistake of becoming what my friend Cody Hoffine calls a cash buyer employee. That means you don't work for the hedge fund. Instead, keep building your cash buyer list and sending your deals to all your buyers, and make the hedge fund buyers compete to buy your deals and give you their highest price. Otherwise, over time, they'll beat you up for a better price, and you'll end up selling your deals for not the highest price you can get. Finally, guys, back to the title of this video. I truly believe there has never been a better time to wholesale houses than right now. If you're brand new and you're working on your first deal, then I want you to stop doing everything you've been doing up until now. Throw all of that in the garbage. I want you to watch a video where I show you the one thing I want you to do to get your first deal. And the best part is it doesn't cost you a dime in marketing. Watch that video now, and if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to my channel. With almost 800 videos, this is the #1 channel on YouTube for all things flipping, and I'll see you on the next video.